Hey everybody, Eric here from Collect&Reflect, and today we are talking about The Last of Us. Now, HBO's adaptation of The Last of Us is coming out on this Sunday, January the 15th. We're super excited here at Collect&Reflect. Me in particular, this has got to be one of my all-time favorite stories that I have ever seen in a video game. It's definitely my top 5 of video games of all time. That and Part 2 and just every iteration that we've had of this. There's even some good comic books that have come out of The Last of Us. So a lot of different adaptations that have come out of The Last of Us series, from video game to comics to now a live action adaptation. And the reviews are some of the most exciting pieces of information that we've gotten about The Last of Us. So reviewers have seen all 9 episodes already, critics and the like, and they are giving this really rave reviews right now. Some other channels on YouTube that are, sometimes a little bit more critical are saying that this is a great adaptation. And that's really all that I care about, is this a good adaptation? Does it at least stand up to the story and the feelings that we had while watching and playing the first game? I don't need this to be the best show of all time. I just hope that it is good and true to the source material. To some extent, obviously there's going to be changes. I know that one of the big changes that everybody is talking about is the fact that we are not seeing spores. The cordyceps virus that takes over the brain that we see in The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2 is not going to be in spore form. So that is obviously going to lead to some changes in the story. I've seen people be upset about this. To me, that's not that big of a change. I understand it is, narratively a big change, but you got to understand, having somebody in gameplay take a mask on and off every time we enter or exit, a lot of these underground areas, it makes sense in a video game, but on screen, I get how that's not going to translate very well. I think that it'll be explained in the show when we see it. But I just want to talk about how we've seen The Last of Us in so many different forms. This game came out for PlayStation 3. We had the great PlayStation 3 version of this game. Then we had the PlayStation 4 remaster of this game, of Part 1. Then we had The Last of Us 2 also come out for PlayStation 4. And now we've even had The Last of Us Part 1, the PS5 remake of the first game, come out. That is the only version that I haven't played yet. I've played everything else that has come out so far. I haven't gone ahead and gotten The Last of Us Part 1, the PS5 remake, only because it's a $70 title. I'm not super happy about $70 titles in general for the current gen systems. For some games, I get it. I get why, there's, an increased cost of development and time and resources that are spent on these. But a lot of games, especially for a game that's a remake, I understand that there is still a lot of work put into that. But I don't think it's a $70 title. I still think it's great. I think it's going to be worth playing once I finally get around to it. But I'm really waiting for a discounted price on that. So that aside, we're really just excited for The Last of Us. I mean, it debuted on Rotten Tomatoes with a crazy 100% score. I think it's sitting at somewhere around a 97% right now at the time of this recording. So we are right now Wednesday, January 11th and the 15th. So we're only 4 days away. And we're hearing the first episode is going to be like a little mini movie. It's about an hour and a half, maybe a little bit less than that. So looking forward to the release of the new show, HBO's The Last of Us. We went ahead and picked up an item here that is fragile, handle with care. So thanks to the seller on this one. I don't have... There's just, generally speaking, not a ton of Last of Us merchandise out there. As far as the Funko Pop figures that you can see, that I'm a big collector of, there hasn't been a lot of Funko Pops. There's been maybe 4 total. I could be wrong on that. But there's been Joel, there's been Ellie, there's been a Clicker, and then there might be some variants of Joel and or Ellie that have come out. But Joel and Ellie, unfortunately, as far as looking to grab those before the game come out, I waited too long on those. I can't believe I waited too long on those. Those are sitting in the $100 to $200 range. But I was able to get the Clicker. So we're going to go ahead and unbox this right now. While we're talking about The Last of Us, figured we didn't need to make this all about an unboxing today, but we would include it here. So the Clicker being something that a lot of people were wondering about, how that would play out in the show, how it would look, because there's just a lot visually going on with the Clickers in the video game. And from what we've seen in the trailers and from some still arts, there is definitely an attention to detail that has been paid here. We've seen some interviews with Bella Ramsey, who plays Ellie in the game that a lot of their reactions while they're filming their scenes, these intense action sequences with the clickers, were pretty easy for them because the practical effects that were applied, because these are not fully CGI'd monsters that are coming at them. These are going to be real live actors who have had prosthesis and all kinds of things applied to them makeup wise to be practically applied to the scene. So they were having like really authentic scared reactions when they're interacting with us. So I'm super happy about that. I think that is going to turn out awesome in the show. And we're going to see here, this was packaged beautifully, by the way. So I'm glad to see that. I didn't have to pay too much. I paid about $15 for the clicker here, and it comes in a pop protector, which is fantastic. So I wanted to get my hands on some piece of Last of Us merchandise before the show came out. And wow, look at this, guys. So here we have the clicker. Get a little bit of a close-up there for you. This is, and it's got the nice PlayStation official licensed product, exclusive GameStop. And it's funny, they did a couple of different, there was like Last of Us 2 specifically labeled pops, and this is just from the PlayStation line. So this is great. I'm super happy to have this. You can get a side view there. And yeah, this figure just does a great job of capturing, I mean, when we compare this with the image that we see of the clicker that has come out so far in the TV show, I think they did a great job. Super happy to have this in the collection here. Place that off to the side. So yeah, looking forward. I can't wait for the first episode. We probably won't do full reviews of the episodes as they come out because there's just going to be so much of that out there, but we will definitely give our thoughts and feelings probably a couple of times throughout the release of the show. So we've got 9 episodes to look forward to. I hope it's an emotional roller coaster like the game was. All the reviews are saying so. We're really excited. We hope that you are all excited. And if there's anything else Last of Us related that you want us to go and hunt down or find outside of those $100 to $200 pops, let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think that Collect&Reflect should do in relation to The Last of Us. And if you're excited, let us know. And if you've enjoyed so far, let us know that too. And hopefully you liked it, you stick around, and you check us out in the future. So without further ado, we'll see you in the next one.